Did you guys ever go hard at like a night out, like that Cavs team? Did you ever get drunk? I can't picture LeBron being like, we're gonna get fucked up tonight.
You got to get drunk if you live in Cleveland. What else is there to do?
That's a fake breath.
I was like, is this a paperweight? No, sorry. Well, I didn't know it, and then it was like, okay, back to what you were saying.
Yeah. We have the other one over there if you want to even it out.
I'm more of a one boob kind of guy, kind of a uniboob. Yes, you have to. Like that's part. You're playing basketball from September, October, all the way to May, June, and you got to. I will say this: like every athlete can say one of his crazier nights are after he had a bender. We landed in. I must have been like 26, 27 years old, and we landed in Toronto. We had a game. Used to play early games, so we had a game probably at like 2:00. And my boy was like, "Hey, let's go out to Vince's club." Vince had a club in Toronto. I think it was called Inside. So
Vince was on the Nets.
Vince was. I don't think he was on the Nets. He was on the Raptors at the time. Okay. But they were whatever, just okay. So we go there, and we go to the club, and we're like, okay, we're just gonna have a couple drinks. We're just gonna hang out. It's no big deal. And so we're sitting there at the bar, kind of talking. And this one girl walks by, and it said like crazy. She had a shirt on that said "crazy bitch," and I was like, "Well, okay."
A little redundant.
Yeah. Right, thank you. And I see another girl walk by. Now, again, I'm not calling these women bitches. These are the shirts that they had on. It was like wild bitch, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, so I see like
next one says bipolar.
Yeah, I see, yeah. It's like just says bitch. That's all it said. So they all start walking by. And I was like, okay, something's going on. So I asked one, I was like, hey, what is this? Is like a bridal party? What's going on? She's like, oh no, it's we're the Toronto Raptor dance team. This is like our Christmas party. Bartender, can I get 25 shots immediately? And that's the way it went. So it was like me and my boy, we're shots round. And they know, like they're typically.
Do they know who you were?
Kind of. They don't pay attention that much. They know the home team guys for the most part, but it's like they knew that I played and I was playing against them the next day. But we're like, now we're turning it on, right? Like we're getting drunk, doing all the things. I'm like, how often are you going to be like one of the few guys in the Toronto Raptor dance team is all here to get drunk? So we got him extremely drunk. I probably go to bed at like 6 a.m. Right? Go to bed at 6 a.m.
Did you take one of them back?
No. I didn't take any of them back. I might have gotten a phone number or two, but it was like we were all going to be struggling the next day collectively. Yeah. When I tell you the next day, I have one of my greatest games. I have like 20 points in the first half. And I'm telling you, the game was an early tip. It wasn't like a regular serve at 7:30. You can go get some rest. It was like I had like 20 points in the first half. And like I'm coming out and end up with like 39 that game. But I remember looking over at their whole dance team and they're like all in a row. They were all beautiful women, but they looked haggard. They looked exhausted. And when I say this, it's like all beautiful women, but it's like we all have our moments where you're like, oh, you had a long one last night. The whole row of them.
They must have thought you were a superhero to do that.
Well, that's the funny thing is like, so the one girl whose number I did get, I texted her after the game and she was like, all the girls were like, he was drinking with us, right? Like he was actually drinking alcohol. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to sleep for 2 days. I was on pure adrenaline. I don't know how that happened, but that is like.
Do your teammates know when you're that hungover?
Yeah. Oh.
Are they annoyed with you?
The NBA, like we are all crazy. We're all psychotic, right? The only way to be one of the 450 players in the world and stay there, you are physically gifted.
Rodman seems normal.
Well, you're physically gifted. He was very physically gifted. Yes. And you're also a little psychotic. So it's like you have those moments where you're just like, fuck it. Just go out there, get it done. But yeah, your teammates know. There's guys that reek like alcohol. Sure. There's guys that are, throwing up at halftime. Like the league has changed, but it used to be even more crazier.